Hi everyone, Fading here from the EverQuest show. This is my favorite video to do throughout the entire year. It's the Fippy Awards. It's all about the best of what's happened in the EverQuest games over the last year and the best of the player community. It's a pretty lengthy video, so grab your favorite snacks, grab your beverages, lots to see here, plenty of great content. If you're watching this live, I'll be chatting in the YouTube chat on the right side of the screen, maybe some trivia and prizes there. If you're not watching this live, there is amazing content in this video, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. In the meantime, sit back, enjoy. There's also going to be testing your trivia along the way. Enjoy, because the Fippy Awards starts right now.
What makes EverQuest special?
I've been asking myself that question a lot for the last 25 plus years, honestly, playing, because it's a game that I've grown up to love. Norath was an escape for me.
The instant I played it, it felt like home.
I think that, there are many ways in which EverQuest has meaning to an individual.
I think it's the community and the friendships that you make.
It's the writing. They understood the love of discovery.
I personally love the lore of EverQuest, for example.
I play it for the people. Every expansion, meeting new people, forming alliances, accomplishing goals, it's the people.
Well, for me, I started trade skills as soon as I started Fancy.
For me, I really like the decorating side of the game.
Right now, I'm more of in a housing mood.
Well, for me personally, it has been the decorating community. They just, open arms all around.
What makes EverQuest special depends upon several things. Where in your life you first discovered EverQuest, where in your life you return back to it.
Like, if you ever wanted to have an encapsulated time capsule of gaming in the late 90s, early 2000s, in a sense, this was it.
You can't extract EverQuest from its time. The birth of the internet coming into, a place when there wasn't a whole lot of communication, kind of being this entry point for so many people into this wider world of, like, a place of connection for so many people. It's going to have this touch point for so many people. So it's going to have this memory.
I think the thing that makes EverQuest so special is the community, like the group of people that you play with. I always tell people when I join a server, they always say, oh, how long are you gonna play? What expansion you're gonna quit at or whatever. And it's different for every server. And the reason why is I will play as long as there's people there to play with.
Unlike a lot of games where you're just thrown into, a dungeon with other people, right? You have to go out and seek people, and you have to put that little effort in and make, conversation with different people, and you meet people and they come back, they call you the next day, like, hey, let's group again, right? And once you do that, you start to form friendships. I've made, since I started doing YouTube, I've made tons and tons of friends just from, joining groups and doing things with just random people, and it has been a blast, and it is probably why EverQuest has such a cult following to this day.
the 2026 Fippy Awards, presented by the EverQuest Show. Good evening and welcome to the 2026 Fippy Awards presented by the EverQuest Show. Now, if you're new to the EverQuest Show, I'm Fading and I created the show to be all about EverQuest. And that doesn't just mean EverQuest 1 and 2, but it means everything in the EverQuest universe. And I know many of our newer viewers are excited about EverQuest Legends, which will be covered here on the show as it is now in beta and it's getting closer to launch. Now, I'm not a developer, I don't work for Daybreak Games, and I'm just a fan just like you. Okay, maybe a really big fan. I like to think I'm the biggest EverQuest fan in the world. So much that I created the EverQuest Show and the EverQuest Studio full of my EverQuest collection and memorabilia. Now, I don't make a dime off this channel. I get no money from any game studios and I do not monetize this channel. All I ask is that you continue to support the channel as I continue to try and showcase the EverQuest community in the best light possible to keep these game worlds thriving as long as possible. Which brings us to the Fippy Awards. You've heard of the Tonys, the Grammys, the Emmys. Well, this is the Fippies, and it's all about the best of EverQuest in the EverQuest universe that's happened within the last year. So let's take a look back at the last 12 months. 2025 was another incredible year for the EverQuest franchise, from continued expansion releases for both games, to new servers with different rule sets, and now, heading into 2026, exciting times ahead with a new release to the EverQuest franchise, and more content to come for both legacy games. The EverQuest franchise is only getting better. EverQuest has celebrated 27 years of live service, with the sequel now at 21 full years and counting. With the release of The Shattering of Rho for EverQuest in December of 2025, an unmatched 32 expansions have been released for the original game. Combine that with the 22 expansions for EverQuest 2 with the release of Rage of Cthulhu, and there are over 50 expansions worth of content for both games. But many of you have also been enjoying the nostalgia that comes from the early days of EverQuest, and the time-locked progression servers have vibrant and active communities. The Fangbreaker server launched in 2025, and in an unusually early announcement by the end of the year, we had details of the upcoming 2 new TLPs for 2026. We have Frostreaver, which has everything the community voted for, as well as Lethar, an experimental server starting in the Serpent Spine with a new experimental personal loot feature. In EverQuest 2, the time-lock expansion servers are also popular, with Dozakar launching as a new PvP server, and the announcement that the Varsoon server will be extended into Kunark Ascending, which is coming in the not-too-distant future. We also saw a new equipment keyring, as well as a launching of the Content Creator Program for streamers and long-form video creators, which the EverQuest Show is a proud member of. But within the development team, we've also seen some changes. Longtime developer Absol announced his retirement at the end of 2025, a well-deserved break from a career in the gaming industry that doesn't often see that type of longevity on a single project. The team was also hit hard by the passing of longtime artist Kevin Leidy. Kevin served as senior environmental artist for many years, and much of the physical world of Norrap was crafted by Kevin as he created many of the zones of the games we play in. And finally, Niami Denmother announced her departure from the company at the end of 2025 to focus on her ongoing health battles. Now, given the addition of housing and decorating categories to this year in the Fippy Awards, I thought it only fitting to check in with Denmom and see how things are going.
I'm doing better. I'm not going to ever be great again, but it's going well, and the time off has helped so much. I'm sleeping a lot. I'm playing a lot. And that's just really, really wonderful.
And with so much change in the development team, I asked Denmom what she would say to players about the loss of such valuable sources of skill and knowledge and what the future holds.
I'd say be patient and have faith. There's still phenomenal people left there, and they will get in other phenomenal people, I'm sure. They make a lot of effort into making sure that everybody that joins the teams is part of the team, that they're suited for the team and the community. It's not just do they have the skills, it's do they have the right personality, do they have the right mindset? And they're very careful about that. it means that it takes time for positions to fill. There are still people there that can take up the torch and keep things going. I mean, in the case of EQ2, Kay Thiel is doing a lot of the furniture stuff now, and he's phenomenal with it.
And there are exciting times in the future. We've been given hints of the next expansions for EverQuest and EverQuest 2. EverQuest 2 focuses on the void left by the removal of Luke and Delir from Freeport and how the Dark Elves are responding, while EverQuest Live continues to look upon the gods of Norath for the upcoming 33rd expansion to be released later in 2026. Both expansions for the Legacy games are expected to launch by the end of the year. The newest EverQuest TLP, Frostreaver, will launch at the end of this month on May 27th, and EverQuest 2's latest TLE server, Wuxi, will launch in June. And potentially the most exciting announcement surrounds the launch of a third entry into the live service games for the world of Norath, as EverQuest Legends, currently in closed beta, is headed for a launch in July. Over 35,000 people have signed up for beta for EverQuest Legends, and excitement is building for this reimagining of how you adventure through Norath. It's an exciting time to be visiting, and for many of you revisiting Norath, with options for every type of player to enjoy the game worlds of EverQuest. It is pretty amazing to think that even the sequel for EverQuest has now amassed more than 20 years worth of content. But even more amazing is the fact that content is still being produced and new expansions continue to be launched each year for EverQuest 2. Rage of Cthulhu brought adventurers squarely into the void with a wide variety of void creatures and foreign landscapes. It was the 22nd expansion for that game, and the quality just seems to keep getting better and better. The artwork of both the creatures and the zones continues to impress. So we kick off our first winners for the Fippy Awards with categories for EverQuest 2. The Void became a strange setting for the latest zones, but developers did their best to give it a vibrant look with plenty of colorful flora and fauna. In the category for Best New Zone in EverQuest 2, the nominees are Zan Zabaz, Jan Gorath, Ugothel Sprawl, Garion Hold of Delir, and the winner is Garion Hold of Delir. Here to present for Best New NPC Model in EverQuest 2 is EverQuest 2 player and contributor for the EverQuest show, Aeroblade.
Airblade here from the modular server in EverQuest 2. Rage of Cthulhu brought a wide variety of new, creepy, and strange creatures into EverQuest 2. In the category of Best New NPC Model in EverQuest 2, the nominees are Void Gliders, Nightbloods, Zaphians, Four-Armed Beholders, the Consumer, void drinkers. And the winner is... the consumer.
I'm Redbeard Flynn, and you're watching the EverQuest show.
And now it's time for a little EverQuest trivia. How many continents can you name in NORAD? This is in the EverQuest 1 timeline. One of the things that EverQuest 2 had from the very start was player housing. This was a full 6 years before it arrived in the original game, and it's one of the most robust systems in any MMO.
For a long time, EverQuest 2 and now EverQuest 1 has had the best housing in terms of variety and depth in all MMOs. It brings out artistry and it brings out creativity of the community. To see the creativity and the grand creations that some of the advanced housing creators can make is simply awe-inspiring.
Being an artist in real life, I've got the principles of design and the elements of design, and I kind of use that in my decoration. But I love how you can take various objects and meld them together and create something fun that is kind of quirky, you know, like gnomes flying and hiding in the bushes, and a gnome wearing flowers in her hair. You know, it's just fun.
To me, it's really relaxing, and I like trying to get things in exactly the right spot. I like to make homes where people feel comfortable and they can go hang out if they want. Well, every house needs a potty. I mean, I've had to do some where there's so many items in the house that I've had to build an outhouse instead. But it, you know, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
I grew up building with Legos and in construction, carpentry. So maybe that has a tie-in. I don't know. I like to put the pieces together and create things. I'm only good at this kind of decorating. I'm not good at like the everyday household stuff, you know, like a live-in type of house. I've never tried to make something like that.
It's more than like placing items and picking what you're doing. You're creating something. We've all started at some point, and we learn from each other. So a lot of our inspiration comes from other people.
There's such a great, wonderful group of people. Everyone is just like, yes, please use this idea, do this. Let me help you with that. Let me give you this item that you need to build what you need to do. And just how helpful and loving, and they just curate this just wonderful, where you can do whatever, and just your creativity can soar, and you can, you know, work together with people, and it's just wonderful.
The decorating community is phenomenal. I am always in awe of their creativity and dedication and their community. The community is wonderful. They help each other out, give them each other ideas, critiques, feedback, little tips and tricks, you know, where to find the best furniture. It's really great to see. I love seeing that creative corner of the community just have this wonderful spot to claim for their own.
In the Best Interior Design category, these are the submissions that show you how cozy or comfortable a house in EverQuest can be, from designers with an eye for organization and their clever use of materials in-game. In the Housing category, for Best Interior Design in EverQuest, the nominees are Asmarella Zella on the Zegany server, Finena Bay on the Luckland server, Gotten on the Bristlebane server, Fancy on the Drenal server, SOBMRE on the Luckland server, Zen Layton on the Bristlebane server, and the winner is Fancy.
This year, EverQuest 2 decorators didn't fail to impress the judges. When it comes to interior design, these artists have an eye for creating beautiful masterpieces in-game. In the Housing category for EverQuest 2, here are the nominees for Best Interior Design. Alyssa with Frostvale Retreat, Kiera with Boho Isle, Rubinus with Second Anniversary, and Sphinx with Dragon's Zen. And the winner is Sphinx, Dragon's Zen.
From holidays to storytelling, some housing submissions have an overall theme surrounding their decorating. In the Best Theme category for EverQuest Housing, the nominees are Nats, the Wayward Lady, Gouda, Storming Frankengnome's Castle, Fanciful, the Christmas House, and the winner is Gouda, Storming Frankengnome's Castle. The judges and I were really blown away by this build, so I sat down with Gouda to ask him about how he built Frankengnome's Castle.
used the Bixie Hive, and I used different blocks to make walls and ceilings and staircases. I knew I wanted a little different entranceway, so you enter through the well in the back, through the storage room, and go up into the kitchen, and putting a lot of gnomes on plates. There was like a fondue pot with some gnome's feet, chilled gnome's brain, shish kebab, gnome kebabs, I don't know, and some gnomes in a blender, gnomes in a toaster. From there, there's the dining hall, which leads, you can go to the bathroom on one end or look out a window on the other. Go upstairs, you can go left or right. One is to a library and also proceeds to a tower where Franken-Gnome is getting recharged. The other direction, you go into another room and you can go down into the basement where they're playing Dungeons and Dragons. I just shrunk down some of those castle walls, made a little dungeon out of them, and I made a little scene to kind of mimic the AD&D Player's Handbook.
It takes a good decorator to make a beautifully designed home, or to tell a story complete with actors, emotes, and storytelling text. Brought these decorators into our next category. For Best Theme in EverQuest 2 Housing, the nominees are Alyssa for Merpaw Mart, Legatha for Easter Extravaganza, Mophis for Lost City of Soldendar, and Rezakai for Dark Moon Guild Hall. And the winner is Legatha for Easter Extravaganza.
Well, I started with the bunny rides. So like back when we were children, we were always on the pony rides. And I love those big bunnies, so I switched it up. Pretty much everything in the build is a memory that I grew up with at some point of my childhood. Honestly, the whole build was because I fell in love with the Ottomer Aran basket. So it's this little basket with the handle. Like you see lots of Frostvale, lots of Knights of the Dead, but there wasn't really anything with Easter. Then I had a vision that I was gonna make this build. I wanted to do it interactive, and pretty much everything in the build, it's like things that I remembered back as a kid, right? We woke up on Easter, we had the big surprise basket full of goodies and sometimes clothes and chocolate. We had these little carnivals that you do face painting and you get to play the games and decorate the eggs. So yeah, everything through there is like a happy memory in my life.
Hello, Internet. I am There's GP from the Kazakh Thule server, and you're watching the Fippy Awards.
And let's try a little more EverQuest trivia. How many of these Norathian deities can you name? In the past year, war has come to Norath, but this time, it was between the gods. In 2025, the Shattering of Ro introduced most of the new content in EverQuest. And I say most because we were also given a bit of a gift last year. I'll have more on that in a moment. As an expansion, the Shattering of Ro took a lot of great ideas from previous expansion rollouts. Some zones revisited or updated some nostalgic old world places, such as the Plane of Hate and the Plane of Growth, the latter of which is now burning and in the midst of a war of the gods and is now called Scarred Grove. And then also completely reimagining and essentially blowing up previous zones like Arkstone and Relic, which are now called Arkstone Shattered Isles and Ruined Relic. This all revolves around the storyline of Shattering of Ro, which involves the explosion in the Plane of Magic, the murder of Druzzle Ro, and a war between the gods pitting Tunair and Nathaniel Mar against Solasek Ro and Ralos Zek, with Firiona caught in the middle. But we were also introduced to some new places, part of the Underfoot called Candlemaker's Workshop. Creatures were made of wax, with a wax tree forest. And the EverQuest developers also went full Inception with a zone within a zone by going inside the explosion in the Plane of Magic into what is called the Vortex. The throwback to the Plane of Hate is now the Labyrinth of Spite, complete with throwback creatures, but also some new things that you'll love to hate. In all, 6 new zones were added with Shattering of Ro, but those weren't the only new zones released in 2025. For the first time in 26 years, for Frostfell, we were treated to a whole Frostfell zone called the Gifty Giver. The Frostfell goblins have their gift-transporting ship stuck in the ice, and it's up to us to help ensure that Frostfell goes on as planned. The zone is complete with the Frostfell village, or several quests to complete, and hopefully room to expand for future Frostfell tasks. So, which new zones were the best? Here to present is Fippy Award-nominated streamer Bigor from the Bigor Gaming channel.
Zones make up the world of Norath, and that's where we fight and we raid. In the category of Best New Zone for EverQuest, the nominees are Candlemaker's Workshop, Labyrinth of Spite, the Vortex, the Gifty Giver, the winner is Candlemaker's Workshop.
The world of Norath would be a dull place without the creatures and NPCs that we interact with as we play. And with the Shattering of Ro, we got a few more NPC models than usual, thanks to the developers and the unique challenges posed by the plot of the expansion.
And we did get slightly more NPC models, but not a lot.
It's mostly the gods, right?
Yeah.
They were kind of the over-the-top part.
We realized that, no, we just can't put the old Tunair in this zone, because Scarred Grove just could not have that old model and look right.
But there were plenty of new creatures, big and small, to populate the newest zones of Norath. So now, in the category of Best New NPC Model for EverQuest, the nominees are the Candlefolk, Cloctopuses, Solasek Ro, Spite Tangle, Tunair,
Wax Abolition. And the winner is... the Candlefolk. And here's the developers again talking about the creation of the Candlefolk.
The Candlefolk are their souls or spirits or whatever you want to call it, they live in their wicks. And so what happens when the candle will burn down, they have very short lifespans. And it's shown by the various heights of the Candlefolk. When they're down to just the wick, one of the candle masters will take the wick and place it under one of these trees, and the wax will fall upon it and eventually rebuild the Candlefolk.
I am the Rizzo GP.
My name is River Flynn.
Hi, this is Eric.
I go by Big or Big Or.
Hi, I'm known as Luna Rosa on the internet.
My name is Dungeon Master Wyvern.
Is Artemistic.
Hi, I'm Hammock J. I make EverQuest videos and guides for EverQuest on YouTube.
I am an MMO YouTuber. You may know me best for my takes on EverQuest that have aged very well.
I have a gaming channel that for the last year has heavily revolved around my exploration of EverQuest.
I stream usually about 4 nights a week of EverQuest.
Stream on Twitch.
My channel is actually where I go and tour other people's works that they have created within EverQuest 2.
I think what makes a good content creator is quite simply just loving what they do. Because if they don't love what they do, you'll be able to tell very quickly. If they're just doing it because they want to try and make money, or because they're trying to, I don't know, like catch on to some kind of something that's catchy at the time, you will know because their heart isn't in it. And there's so much that goes into it behind the scenes that you'll just know. So the biggest thing is just a good content creator is doing it because they like to do it.
I'm very critical of my content, but I think telling the truth and giving, facts without being biased. I try not to be biased about a lot of things, but it does show up sometimes. And just laying it out there and letting everyone make their own decisions from the information you provide, I think will provide a better value to the viewer in the end.
In EverQuest 2, I prefer to do the decorating. That's kind of what I've always been interested in. I'm not a raider I don't like adventuring. I just like to decorate. And it started off years and years ago. There was other people who were doing it, and then they all kind of went MIA from the game. And I knew one of them in real life, and I was like, hey, can I take over doing these videos? Because nobody's doing them, and lots of people want it. And she's like, yeah, please go ahead, do it. And then that's kind of where it took off from there.
So for a content creator, I think the thing that makes it good is one, like being unique in some way, right? Like not just a copy, cut, paste thing, really just entertainment and some kind of, give people something that adds value to their gaming experience,
I think it's just being willing to just have fun and make mistakes and let people see that you don't have to be perfect to play the game. As long as you just have a good attitude about it and have fun and just take whatever comes, I think that's the most important thing, is to just not take it too seriously and to just have fun.
I feel like good content teaches, the viewer about something that they're looking for. In the case of, or serves as a source of news for a topic that a viewer is interested in.
You want to make content that you would want to watch too, or you would want to kind of either vibe out to, or just like, this seems like my shtick. This seems like my style, my type. The main thing is consistency. That is a big one, and that's anybody who's starting out streaming. You're not going to go and turn on, hit start stream and you start playing. You're not going to have. Your first year, you're not going to have a couple hundred people, and then you're probably going to have 0, 1, maybe 2 at most.
Streamer's job is different because you can't editorialize yourself. A streamer's job is going to be different because you're live at the time. And when you're creating VOD content or video on demand content, so YouTube content, you have the ability to you can script things, you can edit things, you can make mistakes, and you can cut those mistakes out. If you're streaming, it's all there, it's all live, and you also have to deal with criticisms live. You have to deal with everything live.
I think the things that make a good stream or streamer is just being able to interact with your community, build that community, and have a positive impact on the game. One thing I don't like when I watch streams is, to give you an example of what not to do, is people who will be playing a game, and not necessarily EverQuest, just a game in general. I used to see it when I played Warzone, and they just complain the entire time about the game. And I think that's a good example of what not to do.
When you choose to orient your channel around a game like EverQuest, it's a choice of love, not necessarily strategy. In my opinion, there are two kinds of good streamers. There are streamers who can be very entertaining and can, draw in their audience and have that conversation with them while they're experiencing a game together. The other side of it is just endurance. Like some of the more prominent EverQuest streamers that I know of usually have strong followings because they put in a lot of stream hours.
Content creators take the world of Norath and spend hours crafting and researching to make the videos that we all watch. In the category of Best Content Creator for EverQuest or EverQuest 2, the nominees are: 8th plays EverQuest.
This video will give you an overview of the new systems that are introduced and some suggestions of how to navigate them.
Decorating with Luna.
Howdy, I'm Luna, and for those of you who don't know, I, along with many other people around the world, use a video game called EverQuest 2 to create art.
Hammock J.
Hello and welcome to a new series I'm starting today called Navigating Norath.
Redbeard Flynn.
In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 different expansions in EverQuest that you may have never played, or you played briefly and then gave up on.
Xerix EQ.
I'm going to show you guys a little trick here to learn your languages.
Taru Gaming.
Taru Gamers, welcome to a new video.
Que es un servidor de progresión de EverQuest.
And the winner is Redbeard Flynn.
This is Redbeard Flynn's second year in a row winning for Best Content Creator.
Actually see myself on the show, and then to actually just be honored in that way was amazing. I felt very, very humbled, and it was wonderful, and I felt very appreciated, and thank you. Thank you to the EverQuest show, and thank you to Fading, and thank you to everyone who took the time to vote, and I just really, really, really appreciative. Whether they're entertaining you as they play or bringing money to a good cause, streamers are entertaining you live as they play. In the category of Best Streamer for EverQuest or EverQuest 2, the nominees are Artemistic Gaming.
Hey guys, it's Artemistic, and welcome to my channel. I'm playing EverQuest 2, which is my favorite game of all time.
Bigor Gaming.
Hey guys, Big here at Bigor Gaming. Today we're gonna go over a couple tips and tricks for your warriors and aggro.
Fezzelwig's Forums.
Whenever I make a new character, I'm like, what can I give to this new character?
The MMO Hippie.
We've got a whole bunch of people here this evening. We've made an alliance with corpses across Norath.
The Rizzo GP.
Hi, Internet. I am the Rizzo GP.
DM Wyvern's Lair.
Oh no! Oh,
How could this happen?
I
under
saw
my leadership?
I saw that happen right in front of me.
And the winner is... Big Art Gaming!
And it's just kind of cool to network and hang out. And I've met a lot of friends through EQ that I wouldn't have met otherwise. So I think it's just the community. I think that's really why I play EQ.
Creating beautiful and cohesive decorated houses in EverQuest takes an eye for design, a creative use of materials, and lots of time.
In EverQuest, guild halls can provide useful services like bankers, tribute, and teleporters, or they can be a crucial place to gather for your guildies before the big raid. In the housing category for Best Decorated Guild Hall for EverQuest, the nominees are Chamber of Chaos on the Firiona V server, Claw of Nagafin on the Bristlebane server, The Dark Rain on the Bristlebane server, Starfall Coven on the Wraith server, Symphony of Arms on the Firiona V server, Undivided Faith on the Drenal server, and the winner of Best Decorated Guild Hall in EverQuest is Undivided Faith. There were only 2 submissions made to the Guildhall category for EverQuest 2, but they were both impressive submissions. In the housing category for Best Decorated Guildhall in EverQuest 2, the nominees are Alyssa, the Ratastic Gorowin Guildhall on the Varsoon server, Robusta, 'Tis a Flesh Wound on the Skyfire server, and the winner is Alyssa for the Ratastic Gorowin Guildhall. In the Best in Show category, these builds show off the most technical use of materials to bring together a beautifully crafted house that wowed the judges. In the housing category for EverQuest, the nominees for Best in Show are Gouda, Cavern Cinema, Kirkus X, The Treehouse, Fancy Plot, Hermit's Hideaway. Rodeo, Dragon Cave. And the winner is Gouda with Cavern Cinema.
It sparked from, if you remember how it looks like there's film on the walls with some images, that's the idea that sparked the whole thing for me. I was just going to put it in a regular house and make sort of an entrance to a cinema or a movie theater, and that was going to be about it. And I was like, oh, let's see what I can do, and I just kept building and building, and it just spawned from that one little idea, that one concept.
One of the things you first see when you go into Cavern Cinema is a diorama of different movies represented.
Well, let's see, the first one is when you come in, you see the King Kong. And I think, let's see, there's Three Musketeers, there's Pinocchio, there's Fiddler on the Roof, Jaws, The Shining, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Hellraiser.
And of course, every movie theater has to have a concession stand.
One thing I wanted to put in is like the rotisserie chicken kind of thing. So that was a definite, and I wanted to make a little popcorn thing. It looks okay. It looks like there's popcorn going in that container. And I got the different size cups for the popcorn and plates for the chicken. And then the beverage stand on the other side.
And while you wait on that matinee, why not play in the arcade?
The 3 games I was able to make was Tempest, Galaga, and Battlezone.
And Gouda even put in a projection room.
Yeah, I really love that armored guy that's sitting on the thing, and I used 2 of them to make his legs outstretched on a couch. So I hid the rest of the body of this one guy, and he's watching Gilligan's Island while the projector room's flashing away the movie, which is Dr. No. GNO.
Here to present our final category for EverQuest 2 Housing, Best in Show, is Niami Denmother.
In the category of Best in Show for EverQuest 2 Housing, the nominees are Alyssa, Luxurious Komzek Keep. Asakia, Seasonal Grottos. Azul, Azul's Bed and Breakfast. Luna Rosa, Celestial Splendor. Scabbers with the Holy Blade Tavern. And Sphinx with the Drinal Afterlife Palace. And the winner is Luna Rosa, Celestial Splendor.
My first time seeing the planetarium house within EverQuest, the artists that work at EverQuest 2 created that, and I just loved the sun and the moon because I've always loved outer space. And then it just kind of sat with me for a little bit. I wasn't quite sure what to do, but I knew it went on sale one day and I bought it. And I was like, I'm gonna figure out what to do. And then this idea started forming of a hotel. And the original plan was to have the whole entire hotel within the planetarium, but I ran out of item count very, very quickly. we had so many things within the game that could be used to create planets and alien looking scenarios, and I just thought a hotel would work really good because the sun side could be the breakfast buffet, and then the night side could be that, you know, the nighttime lounge. And then that I really just went by what the color of the planets are in our solar system. Mercury was, I really wanted to stick with because Mercury is actually 70% metal and 30% rock. And so I wanted to try to keep the materials within the room 70% metal and 30% rock. And I just kind of cultivated each room around actual facts of the planets. So I placed a cloak on a mannequin, and then I hid the whole mannequin part in the wall, and just so that only the cloak would show, and that would look like curtains.
I want to congratulate you and all of the people that qualified. It has been an absolute pleasure to announce the winner and to just know that there are these phenomenal decorators out there.
Well, that's a wrap on the 2026 Fippy Awards. If you were a winner, I'll be reaching out shortly about prizes courtesy of Daybreak Games. Thank you to the judges who took the time to look through all of those amazing EverQuest houses, and thank you to everyone who nominated, who voted, or who just watched the Fippy Awards. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Make sure you click subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in NORAD.
I'll forget this. It's Fippy Dark Paws Gym. So it says never give up.
I did find a dead guy on my toilet one day. That was a little bit of a shock. Apparently, he'd made a level 1 to go look at housing, and he had gotten poisoned on the way to the house. So he ended up checking out the washroom in the house and died on the toilet.
Harley! There she is! No, she's like, where is my dinner, human?
Show something cool. So I wanted to show one of the coolest things in content creation. One of the absolute coolest things in content creation. And this is, so probably the second coolest thing that has happened to me in content creation, and it's tied to EverQuest, has been this. So second to winning the Fippy, right? So there is an artist who makes incredible art. They go by Red Frog. Their website, I believe, was there. I went to check just to see. I believe it's not live right now, but it's unnamed sequel. They made me my character. They drew my character, and I've had it behind me for a couple months now in a frame. And it's just one of the coolest things. I'm gonna click this real quick. It's one of the coolest things ever. Let me see it. It's just like, to get something like this is just phenomenal.